and then his final year to not be in the stands is heartbreaking.
Players in the Greater Spokane League practicing and playing again, but not without frustrations. Tonight we talked to a family about why watching their son play football right now is bittersweet.
Finding a vaccine, we bring you a comprehensive guide to where in the inland Northwest you can find a shot.
Plus, over the last few years, many changes have come to Riverfront Park. Now the last steps of major construction are nearly finished. We get a sneak peek at a brand new project.
Tracking sunshine and mild temperatures in your forecast next. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News. I'm Tom Sherry.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. We want to get right to some breaking news for you, as tonight we are learning more about the officer-involved shooting in Chattaroy that happened this past Sunday. Now, today, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office said the deputy involved is named Craig Cupo. He joined the Sheriff's Office in May of 2019 as a lateral deputy. New details tonight are that Officer Cupo and the property owner both shot at each other that night, which then led to the homeowner being shot. The deputy performed life-saving measures then until medics could arrive there at the scene. We're told this is, though, an ongoing investigation. Another top story tonight. This is certainly not what family and friends had in mind when they wanted to watch their kids play football, even after waiting months and months of a COVID-19 pandemic. Families of high school football players in the Greater Spokane League say they are frustrated.
Our Amanda Rowley talked to a family in Cheney, grateful to have football back, but disappointed in the new experience.
This Friday, Cheney High School football will be here playing against Central Valley. But because of current restrictions, the Greater Spokane League is not able to allow fans in the stands. And because of that, families have resorted to watching their seniors' final football season from the fence line.
Jackie Straley has watched her son Dylan play football since he was 5 years old. He's now a senior playing outside linebacker at Cheney High School.
This is really what we always wait for, is Friday night lights, to be sitting in the stands, seeing your kid on the field.
This year is much different. The season only started a few weeks ago, and fans are not allowed in the stands.
Yeah, it's super quiet. It's very weird, but I mean, I'm glad to get to compete, but we definitely need fans back. It adds a whole nother perspective to the game.
Under Washington's Phase 2 guidelines, only a maximum of 200 people, including spectators, are allowed for outdoor sports. For Jackie and other parents, that means watching the games from the fence.
It's definitely weird looking through a chain link fence watching your kid. I try to still cheer and be as loud as I possibly can.
And believe me, we want parents in the stands supporting their kids and sharing those memories. And unfortunately, right now, with the guidelines that we have to stick at that 200 number.
Ken Van Sickle is the director of the Greater Spokane League. He says with larger schools, the number of athletes, coaches, and support staff on the field have reached maximum capacity nearly every game.
You know, one of the schools, they had to have some of the administrators that were inside the fence actually step outside the fence to make sure that they were under the number. And so, you know, we're counting every single body, every single person.
Is there some point where they could maybe just plan on showing up to see if they could get admittance, if there's enough capacity, flexibility?
Well, that would be communicated out prior to the game, and we would give priority to those that can get in, to senior parents.
Parents have written letters to the governor's office asking for separate guidelines for those on the field and the fans in the stands. The governor's office says there are no plans to change the current restriction at this time.
It's now or never. We need to make decisions, do it quickly, so we can at least enjoy a couple games.
Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, this is our team and our time. This Sunday, we find out the Gonzaga men's basketball team's path to possibly claim their first national title.
It is so exciting, and as their historic season continues on, the stats behind this incredible run are just Well, they're incredible. Karthik Venkatraman is joining us now from the newsroom to share just how impressive the Zags truly have been. Hi, Karthik.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, last night Gonzaga men's basketball claimed the West Coast Conference tournament in a win that was really thrilling against BYU. That was their 8th conference title in the past 9 seasons. That's pretty impressive. And then by doing so, by winning that game, they extended their winning streak to 30, which is the longest in program history. Also impressive, but it's just not as impressive as the stats I'm about to break down for you. We'll start with the fact that first and foremost, what they did last night was keep the undefeated season dream alive. Gonzaga became the 20th program ever and will be to enter the NCAA tournament undefeated. The last to do so, 2014-2015, when Kentucky did it. They were loaded with professional basketball talent. That sounds pretty darn familiar to the Zags, doesn't it? However, that team ended up losing in the tournament, and they would not go undefeated. As a matter of fact, no team has entered the NCAA tournament undefeated and capped off that perfect season since Indiana in 1975-1976. Quick math. That was 55 seasons ago. 4 teams after that season have entered the NCAA tournament without a loss. Gonzaga is going to become the 5th. Only 7 teams ever have won the national title without losing a game. Will Gonzaga become the 8th? It's impressive that GU has gone undefeated, yes, but how they've done so is just flat out ridiculous. They've won all but 1 game by double digits this season, which was against West Virginia earlier this season. Even last night, they were down 12 at halftime to BYU, and they still won that game by double digits. GU has won 23 games in a row by 10 or more points. To put that into perspective, no NCAA team has done that in the past 60 seasons. Their average margin of victory is 23 points. That's blowout after blowout, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, that's a program record for highest margin of victory ever for a season. And this is for all the haters that say, oh, big deal. It's because Gonzaga doesn't play anybody and they are untested. Well, according to ESPN stats and information, Gonzaga has beaten 7 teams in Ken Palm's current top 25. For those who don't know what KenPom is, it's a site that ranks teams based on advanced statistics, which is now commonly used by coaches and analysts to determine the strength of a team. So those 7 wins are the most by any team in the NCAA. Next closest, AP ranked number 3 Illinois, who has 5 such wins. GU is also the only team ever to open the season up in their first 7 games, winning 4 of them against AP top 20 teams. So to really sum everything up and to simplify this, Gonzaga is really, really good. They're just really, really good, and they're going to continue to be one of the top threats in the NCAA as they go into the tournament right here, all but certainly locked to be that number 1 overall seed. That is something they have never done. So just history mark after history mark being set for this team right now, and it's hard to believe they're not the favorites for the national championship.
It is pretty incredible. And did you get the fact that they're really, really, really
good? They are really, really, really good, y'all. That is what they are. It's just that simple.
And I love that you put the haters in their spot.
Hey, yes. Man, you got to tell the haters. They be coming out and they are on social media trashing the Zags all the time. Even one photographer, I think he's looking at me right now, he says they're not good enough. But hey, I'm telling you, they are.
They are good, and they're fun to watch,
and that is just
fun for everybody.
Good kids.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
A matter of fact.
Thank you.
Karthik, thanks so much. All right, Tom, let's take a look outside. The sun is out, and this is, we're getting ready for sunset time, and it's actually turning into a beautiful evening.
Absolutely. We had a little sun and some clouds today, which is very typical for our March weather, but for the most part, we're tracking mild, warm days and some really chilly nights. We're still dropping down well below freezing in the overnight hours. I'm looking for sunshine through Saturday, and we'll look for temperatures in the lower 50s through Saturday. By the time we get to Sunday, we may get up to 60 degrees. Right now we're at 44 degrees. The winds are calm, as you can see, under partly cloudy skies. And again, nice not to have that wind out there. We'll look for some patchy fog tonight. Let's not rule out an isolated snow shower, but no accumulation. 50 the expected high tomorrow, partly cloudy conditions. For the weekend, I've got 56 on Saturday and 60 degrees expected on Sunday. This is going to be a fabulous weekend. Well, the Spokane Regional Health District says Chaz has received a shipment now of that Johnson & Johnson vaccine. They say they are hopeful that this will allow for more vaccinations in our region. So as of right now, the Department of Health says there are a limited number of first dose appointments now available at the Spokane mass vaccination site down at the Spokane Arena. So you can make an appointment using online using Safeway's registration system. And we also searched and found appointment availability at Mount Spokane Pediatrics, Unify Community Health, and Consistent Care Services. But we are also told those are filling up quickly. The DOH encourages patients to check back daily for new appointments. But like most places around the country, the health district just wants more doses.
And the good news is that we have seen steady increases over the last several weeks. So the reality of the matter is will be dependent upon the amount of doses that we get, because we do have some infrastructure to scale up.
Scale up, that's what it's all about. SRHD needs to scale up, and more than just getting doses, they need to get those doses into people's arms.
In the meantime, KREM 2 is still pushing for answers about why Spokane's mass vaccination site at the arena is still administering the fewest doses of all of the state sites across Washington. So last week, you may remember, I questioned Washington State Health Secretary Dr. Umair Shah about why Spokane wasn't scheduling any new first dose appointments and why we haven't been able to vaccinate more people. Here's what he told me last week.
Ever since the Department of Health took over the arena site, we really haven't gotten any information about when the site will be able to reopen for first doses. Why are we not getting that information, and when do we think that the site will be able to reopen for first doses?
I absolutely agree with you. If you feel and the community in Spokane feels that they're not getting enough information about the Spokane site and the information, we're going to work on that. We need to improve that.
But the problem is still happening. So these are the latest totals from just a few days ago. You can see Spokane still administering fewer doses than all three of the other mass vaccination sites in the state. And keep in mind, of course, our population here in Spokane is much higher than both the Tri-Cities and Wenatchee. So I asked the State Department of Health again why that is and what's being done to catch us back up with the rest of the state. So far today, at this hour, the Department of Health has not responded. I also wanted to know where the state's supply of Johnson & Johnson vaccines is going. So we know that Washington was allocated 60,900 doses of the newly approved one-dose shot, J&J, almost 61,000 doses. State officials tell me that these are the counties where those J&J doses are going to be delivered. So I went through and circled each and every county, and you may notice that there is kind of a glaring, more obvious hole. If you take a look, there is a huge portion of eastern Washington that is going to be getting nothing from that initial allocation. In fact, the only county in the entire east region here is Asotin County. So I went back and asked again today why that is. And again, we still have not received a response from the Department of Health, but we will certainly keep asking those questions, and we will let you know when we get those answers.
Okay. Keep asking those questions, please. My gosh. In the meantime, we know that the Spokane Arena is finally starting to offer limited first dose appointments. We also know that Chaz is getting its own supply of Johnson & Johnson vaccines. So for more information on all of this and how to schedule an appointment, just text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000.